Big up, good morning, good morning, Africa. Good morning, Salone. Good morning to the rest of this old West African coast, east, north, south. What it do, what it does, what's poppin' like in it's your boy Taz Muslims the Savant, aka Bepe call the message must come, must fulfill the message. Would you follow global trend step? And this is serious what come out now Donald Trump emotes yesterday. You know? Very serious, and I think say Africa for concern or worry. You know, be very concerned about what's in Donald Trump the talk of. We get so many blacks there a few years ago before we start this episode proper, including Tasmo. I've been in support of Donald Trump. Personally, I be like human a movement, but in within I not be no sin I be racist. And this racist card now it only play for when a entourage them or a followers them, but still they pretend to the world that they embrace all, they get against any discrimination, but which is a lie. And we see what's in take place within a time we within a power or tenure where we get so many lives and become lost, especially black people. Now that puts the bold print of people and be advocate for Black Lives Matter. Now doing Donald Trump in tenure. Black Lives Matter, because so many black people then get killed. And empower the policeman so much that they nobody spare any blacks anymore. And take go to immigration, border control, etc., etc. And we can eat some pointers they are. Some of una where they sleep now inside the US for let you wake up. Let you tie your belts, begin to get your things then correct. Because whether Donald Trump can into power or not, and I don't see any perfect right now, but the moment two Republicans then come into existence, Donald Trump still gets access. Because at this moment, now ain't the leader of the party, now ain't the forefront man, for the next coming election. And they get the high respect they for. And see, we'll talk of the Republicans them, now conservative individuals them. We don't want to see they all like KKK members them, or supremacist members them, white supremacists. But, we all know say they get their own small discrimination against foreigners them. Now, let me hit the pointers then quickly, before we dive into Donald Trump issue. And when all our way I say get an indictment, the first president in America would they ever indict. What they invite in a court. They don't serve in letters them. And this trip, people expect maybe if they go for this indictment, call or call in, they will go lock them up. Well, and I don't think they don't reach it to that point still. But the only thing is, an image will be destroyed or they will continue for making image. Because when it comes to public relation, bad publicity, maybe the worst publicity, now they make somebody. Maybe the worst thing or the bad thing, what people in the talk of, now they build that person. So when it comes to public relation again, bad publicity, you talk good or you talk bad or you help for make the person. So again, I get to that point of view, they may understand that concept there, and we they see how things and they go. But for now, let me try for, package which we don't package this morning and pass them on to Una. So far, we get about 54 countries in Africa. About 54. Out of these 54, we get about at least 47. We don't link up, don't sign up, don't ready for participate with China. The Americans say don't lose them, grounds them, or then ties them with Africa. Out of 54 countries then, 47 don't take side to China. And this a major for Africa, a major for China, and this not a problem for the US. A major problem for the US. And this could create another conflict, or we go add to the more conflict to go for take place. And before we continue, about 70% of the African youth them, they rather do business with China. 70% of the African youth, they wouldn't do an estimation. About 70% of the African youth them rather do business with China. You know? And what they cause all this conflict before we hit Donald Trump in talk one? The Africans them concerned about respect. They say America no respect we. You know, when they invite you into meeting, then get no agendas them. Now for just go sit down, talk, boku talk. Now not even get private meeting them with leaders them or with presidents them. They can invite with presidents and for go out. Then go sit down one-on-one with Joe Biden or whatsoever president we then get for discourse about we own issues them. That's not ever take place, you know, for all the summits there or the meetings there. When they invite the cabal, they say the most important thing, not for just the pictures. For just map take picture, say you take picture with Joe Biden, or you take picture, you know, at the White House. You know, not for just, you know, popularity sake or publicity sake. But nothing serious to knock in discourse. Nothing. You know? And it's very sad. It's very sad. So now, before we hit again the topic, the Taliban still, they pass show off. And I know since Afghanistan and the rest of the other coast there, America be don't go occupy there for a while. And even inside Iraq, now they all only confess say the war America go fight inside Iraq, they're not for don't go fight them. They say the judgment they make on Saddam, it be wrong. So then go fight inside Iraq, then kill so many people them, say they kill Saddam. Now then they realize see what they do, it wrong. But nobody not be there for support Saddam because the eagle in here, we don't put, you know, the eagle them, we don't put Saddam for Saddam. And anybody with the eagle they control, they go for support. They go for support. So we get Baku money, we don't go just because of wrong judgment. What the Americans they come, they say, well, this person again nuclear weapon. That's about it. They're able for fool and manipulate the world globally. At least they're good for manipulate and fool the world. Now let me continue. Donald Trump in indictment, well, for all the other major charges them, or the conspiracy charges them, or theories them, what we don't hear, you know, one standout, what we call hush money. When they talk of hush money, they make us think of hush puppy. Hush money. And this hush money, now in Donald Trump, I guess it began an adult sponge store. For whatsoever reason. You know, the plaintiffs them, then they say relationship be there between Donald Trump and this woman. Whatsoever the money be there for, I not to understand. But the bill and case same relationship be there between Donald Trump and this pawn store. And about 100 and something thousand or more, you know, be passed on to this woman. Whether not for payment or whatsoever reason. Well, now this don't create, you know, the big rise, you know, for an indictment inside the U.S. So now they don't invite Donald Trump. They be first invite him, but they don't be indicted. You know, they be go through the process. They try to make sure they really indict this man here. And finally, they give the order for indict him. You know, very soon they go to court. And one, two people they want to see, and the mock shot. The man gets money for bail himself. You know, man gets money for bail himself. You know, we're not going to say he go to jail because this now one charge is then force. Unless now if they indict him with all the other charges there, then things could become difficult. But to me own views them, Donald Trump in war, or what's the effect now? Now the Clintons them. Now the Clintons them. If we now all go back in history where it starts in campaign, the first people will be the attack, will be the cost, will be the molest. That be the former president, Bill Clinton, and he left. Man will be don't serve. And molest, disrespects them, and he do all things for abuse them. And that's how one state. He really abused Hillary and her husband. And when I don't say Hillary and Bill Clinton, the black people and different. And especially when Donald Trump begin to use some racist remarks. I watched a video a few years ago where they beat a white girl, a black woman by Donald Trump in convention. And Donald Trump in statement, if not be those days, like, they don't anger. They don't anger. And the black woman, they talk of sooner. So me, now they are beginning to depict and understand see this man in ordinary. He really racist. If a woman gonna convention, maybe now the opposition, then you allow white man there, cause not say even woman for slap this woman, drag and take come out. Then while they drag this woman come out, Donald Trump ain't get the bold mind for talk say, if not be those days, and for me don't hang up. They must not say he believe in this white supremacy business. But part of that, it only proven in many, many other ways them. We don't need for doing investigation. We don't need for watch clips them. For ladies all sinking. I just can't forgive when I point us them. So again, in battle, they got to understand, it's not just against the Americans, Democrats or Republicans them, but this is about the blacks and the Clintons them. To me own views. And the Clintons then really they mash up Donald Trump. They go affect him in every way possible. And the top target, they no wants this man for becoming president again. They no wants Trump for being president again. So whatsoever they go need for do for print in image, in character, and last but not the least, in record, because when you get certain record inside United States, you're not eligible for run for presidency. Certain record go make them eliminate you. So now that process there, I think the Democrats or the states they focus on. Because they know say if Trump can't get into existence, just like right now when I in now the number one man we come to the Republican team for stand for election, if no do anything, they allow normally things continue for be smooth. It will end up for win one day. Because it gets so many rebels them, so many KKK members them, so many supremacist groups them, we just ready for support this man here. And any sinner for Save America, but not for Save America, because Donald Trump in back not foreigner, and Papa not foreigner. The family members then be foreigners them, we come out from a different parts of the world inside Europe and go inside America. But let me get this topic to go on properly. So what in this man states yesterday? And we will focus on keynotes there. Say, ain't no there with globalization. Ain't no believe in that globalization process. Ain't no all bound for work together. Ain't no believe in that. And ain't no to a socialist. Ain't no believe in that concept. All man, they come from different places there. We all try to socialize, as a union or as one. We try to develop the United States. And that kind of concept we go put onto. And I believe in any socialist business or globalization. Or a communist. Thanks them for share or being common. Same values them. Respect, dignity, etc., etc. In a communist manner. But even in communist or, socialist or globalization or etc., etc., all the attributes there also begets problem because whatever they use in those days and nobody work proper. There's always hiccups with socialist communist globalization, etc., etc. Until democracy came into existence. So again, this hush money, they make Donald Trump. They start a campaign already. Because they campaign now. And they tell the American people what's he go do. And that's discussed yesterday. What's he plan for do when he come back now power? Now the first one. What he's so serious and determined about. Border control. They don't tire with the Mexicans them. People from El Salvador. Guatemala, etc., etc. we just they cross, they come over the US, you know, and in things in a criminal stem. And what's he emphasize, parts of the countries that are within here, it's even the African stem or the one way they come out, mostly na criminals they send for going to America. Now this Donald Trump said yesterday. It's in people there we don't come on a prison, we don't release from prison, or we don't release na Christian people in a mental home. It's them people there then we government say can apply for asylum for them go to America because we don't want in our country. Now make the Africans or other people them, other countries them, they send them people there for go overseas, for go destroy America. Now Donald Trump in talk them this. So most of them now when Africans them or foreigners them, when are criminals them, when are mad people them, when are we left when home and go by under. That's Donald Trump they try for talk. Say, when are criminals them. And say, ain't not tired with this. When are so criminals them that they send. It won't repeat or first kind of similarity what can take place with Cuba and Castro. You know, there was a time where Castro want, you know, release some certain people them. He want left some political prisoners them. We say he send them. Now the US. So, you know, Donald Trump, I think, they imagine, I'm already thinking, they imagine too much, you know, imaginations, not to reality. So now, I don't blame this on all foreigners still. That's not social criminal still, mentally ill individuals still, and then they apply for asylum, for go America, for go cause trouble. And you don't want that. So the borders them ain't go secure. Ain't go continue for spend money for secure. You know? And you go do all thing for stop the flow of immigration. Then it talk of ICE. It talk of ICE. Una know now what's na ICE. ICE, now the private entity where they detain immigrants them. Now like explain this to you. Some of you now go think say you need to be illegal. Illegal in the process, now what you document say don't expire. If you be go there legally. If you go there legally, your documents expire. You don't become illegal. If you go there, your document is still current. But if you don't breach the contract, you go mistake, get a small misdemeanor charge. Maybe they pull you over, you be the drive, and you know, alcohol in your mouth, so if you don't drink or you come on at the bar, then pull you over. That misdemeanor there is a violation to the contract where you sign, where they give you, you know, where they give you green card or documents for stay. Then in a violation, you can be deported also. You know, you can be deported. So then violations that way come to ICE. Donald Trump emphasize and focus on that. He say when he come back na power, he go spend extra money for make sure say ICE become very active, shut all around the United States for any illegal immigrants or anybody when documents will expire or anybody who don't get any misdemeanor or any crime for be deported. So now he targets that. They ain't gonna do that. Because then people there they create problem in South America. He emphasize on that. So if you're a foreigner, well, they don't blame or cast the blame for you already that you're a criminal without any record. You will get a small thing, would expect the worst where Republicans can come. So now I make an advice, when I'm with the under, whatever you need for do, forget your citizenship. And if it's important to you, try get up. Because when the wrong presidents come, but cough on the back, then go forget our face come. You know? And now the political tools than this. Use you for go pay tax, deport you, what they do with you. You know? So now they continue. Also war on crime. And then crimes there mostly reflect to black people. But also in concern about the new drugs we don't kind of say fentanyl. What discussed in this there? You know, fentanyl. That's what they pronounce them. You know, in belief say truly that in neighboring countries and the fiscal drugs there. So in ready for put fence, put gate, babu wire now, anything now for stop people enough for enter. But all the resource that way it is spent not for nothing. Because the flow of immigrants them not going to ever stop.
How you build fence, say, let's say you put fence at the one whole United States, people then still go inside. So I don't know what's in Donald Trump they think. I don't know what's in they think. Because the American man not going to be able to secure the border forever. And the American man not too much quick getting inside America. Now I don't know, we get so many loyalists there. We love America, especially the Jewish people there. Now they make America. And I'm not going to say now they make, because we the blacks now we make America. But now the Jewish them, now they don't mix with the whites who represent the white Americans them. I hope someone don't understand. So, ain't ready for fed crime, especially when it comes to drugs. Ain't ready for fed crime when it comes to drugs. And any criminal activities they now, we go indict the black people. Because now black people, you know, they part these gang activities. And especially with the underage, you know, teens them. And believe say, if you're not 13, 12, 11, 15, 16, you go commit. They say you go serve the same time as the adult. And so I make them picking here now, they're going to cause crime. And when you come back to power, and never look to that if you're not picking or not. So when you blunder, they go fix you. They go give you life in prison. You know? So, and talk all, you know, a day around racism, discrimination, border, blacks internally, foreigners there internally, you know, all in messages there, the surrounding things there, the entities there, the people there. Now, let me continue. Also, they attack Joe Biden. Also, they attack Joe Biden. Well, that ain't not to themselves. I don't too care about Joe Biden because he's back a corrupt, another corrupt president to America gets. But the most corrupt person to me, not Donald Trump, inside the entire America. Because this man, money don't fully in aid, and if they mistake get a small chance, now war. It go be say now war for now it go be internal war. Because I don't think say Donald Trump go fit anybody out of America. And if it is still America, they go down. You know, Donald Trump in time. Because whether they enough for encourage, now they be encourage. And Putin, they be the see eye to eye. And North Korea, the leader, they be the see eye to eye. Even in Chinese, the China, the leader, used for talk. Most of the terrorist groups, them, what other presidents they nobody do, Donald Trump, they be the answer the phone call. You know? And they talk to them. And what's in state, what's in believe, they fear. And believe say all the other countries that are with them presidents, then freedom. Then freedom. You know, because he ain't no day. When you say something, you do I mean if you see that for release nuclear weapon inside North Korea, maybe that could take place. You know? But me, I don't see that. I don't see that. So they attack Biden based on the policies them. What's in Biden they do, we're not active, you know. And also what take place in Afghanistan. Most of the US vehicles them, you know, will left there, seized by the Taliban them, you know. And even the airports, we don't say one of the major airports, we don't create, when the military base be old, when the American military base be old. They say now China don't go take that land. China don't go occupy it. Because America left too soon, you know, and now the Chinese are not going inside. You know? So China they advance slowly, gradually. And this concern Donald Trump small, you know. But I think say in biggest concern, now internal, domestic issues them. Not to external issues them, but all these are domestic issues them Donald Trump focus on. You know? Say with Russia, it's one of them take place inside Ukraine. Because if we don't tell Putin say, no goodie. No goodie. It's say with China, you know, if I be able to control what's going to take place. But all we know is about good talk. We know about good talk. So again, they're underage criminals there. We're going to work out guns there. You know, now in target with foreigners there, with border control, with drugs, you know. Anything we're going to make the white people there feel supreme, feel powerful. Now that's going to be vibe, you know, in your mindset for feel like say they don't make America strong again. Now, in quotes or in words, them, they need to make America strong again. Well, we don't know if America weak or strong so far, but we don't say how you become strong till you must be weak in one day. Yeah? And the infidels and they attacked him. You know, the evil, I don't say the evil forces there, you know, but the one way they try to counter America, there are many. Iran, now one, Saudi Arabia, you know, get issue with the US, North Korea, China, Russia, most African countries, them. Uganda, the president first not even elect the Americans. You know, Kagame not even elect the Americans. You know, we get countries that will just totally dispute or they're against the Americans. But the Americans, they don't even know how to revive their relationships with them anymore. Because their tactics will then be used for manipulate, big fool, set fire, and conquer. Well, it don't stop for work. Even though the Africans are still affect themselves, but they don't tire for they listen to the white man. They don't tire for listening to the Americans or the Europeans. And the Africans, they don't say, they don't value we or get any respect for we. You know? And when I talk this about agenda, I don't understand, like elaborate small. If you invite the president from, an example, from Russia, you must get an agenda, something written, what one we can discuss. What's important, the things that on the table, we want to go discuss. Well, anytime where the American man invites the African leaders them for go out there, no agenda, no dinner. That's what I mean. Not what the American man they don't prepare, say, we can discuss. I will just go spend time. Because we not take we serious. We not take we leaders in serious. You know? And the funny thing what Kagame also be pointed out, like refresh on my mind. It's a war conflict that take place in within we own countries them or neighboring countries there. The only thing we can make them rebels say or the president thinking gladly, what war they take place now we own countries them or other countries them. Now the time war the American man go invite and say Kaoba, look and talk small peace talk. You know? And then telling now we rebels they will get in Africa we leaders then can feel like see, you know, they're powerful because the Americans they don't invite them for go. A big fool. And not for go talk any serious talk again. You know, now for just go take a picture. Just a picture. You know, so how long would it be Paris for just go take a picture for feel important because the one day when they say the first one invite you for go over. But when still able to sort out or fix on the issues them. You know? So this is going to be a big problem for the Africans them and other countries them. And when I know say what Donald Trump be in existence in power, almost American them they give about 200 to 300 and something million donation or maybe more to the UN. To the UN. To the United Nations. And also, well, not just to the UN, but WHO. They fund WHO with this money here for help alleviate the struggles that they take place around the world with conflicts there, people that we seek, you know, people that we just migrate, what the world don't scatter, what the world don't pull from their homes them. What Donald Trump is coming into existence, that money they want America be used for donate, is stop them. They say they give anymore. You know, let the world fend some side forget the money. Since people that don't respect America, that donation they want America to make, ain't go stop. Ain't go stop. They also enforce or emphasize on certain terms and the way they try to deport people in South America. I say I'm not gonna use the word Brazil. Brazilian presidents BDD, but you know include Brazil for this list. You know, in talk yesterday. But I guess now one of infants them Brazilian president. But Brazil include because all the countries there and this country, South America, you know, Brazil, you know, Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, the rest of them, you know, ain't just don't tire out. Donald Trump don't tire out same people here. He really don't tire out same people here. And it wants a barrier from them people there. It wants them people there for stuff for with drugs inside the country. And they feel like same people are the enemies them. The enemy of progress. And then they deter America as well. You know? And then countries there now don't begin to encourage China and the landscape. You know? So just like how America didn't have the Chinese man in back door or back house, now the Chinese man and then also the American man then back door, back house. It don't begin to take place. You know, because the Mexican areas there, the Hispanic people there, then back don't begin to see eye to eye with the Chinese them. Because you don't say what the American man is suffered it. You know, based on sanctions still. You know, and that's not funny to me. How when I go there so close to America, when I pour past the one within Africa. When I so close to first swallow, so near, but when I pour 30. So now this now can play in my mind what the African leaders are so stupid. If America able to establish Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, all the other countries there, now Africa they go can build. If countries say where they near to America, not develop it. Because if you don't want crime for going to your country, empower them people there also. Maybe they go minimize. All not go stop for camp, but it will cut off. Because them back get employment in a system. Things that take place within a system. People go get jobs, get money, things can go to flow. Some man self not go and go in America. Some man not go and go to America again. But if you not empower them, and then people they feel the pinch, then they feel the struggle, and then they're so close to una, what do you think is going to take place? If say the Africans and they sit down per boats, but could they die around Turkey area, you know, this Middle East area, you know, for just try for go no more in the US, they die in the Mediterranean Sea, for just try for go no more inside Europe. What do you think, say people in there for jump fence, you think it's a big thing for them? For jump fence. If I go jump fence 10 times, 20 times. 20 times I go to jump fence. Why jump you catch me, you deport me back, and they jump back. When I that make Boko Africans, especially the Ghanaians and the Nigerians, when I can deport them, they're not too worried. Because they go back inside Mexico. And they find all kind way for enter back. Go inside El Paso, Texas. Man, they enter back. What's in their left behind and make sure say they ship them back to Africa before they finally feel like say, you know, you don't deport them. Now we Saloma can give up. The Nigerians and the Ghanaians and they never give up. You know. So now they talk this morning. We come off from the hustle mouth what they call Donald Trump. To me now the worst man inside America right now. And the most fearful man inside America right now. And they continue to encourage to me this disease because Donald Trump now a disease. It will create conflict. Internal conflict, what the world could be surprised about. Forget now about the war outside of US. May they talk of internal conflict. Because then white supremacist groups there, the moment they can't get a leader who believe in the same concept, they go and begin to mash up black people. You know, and the policeman first go and start this nonsense. Then civilians they want to start. And I go tell them, I say, it not go work. Because if they continue, then one day, the blacks then say, oh man, we don't tire now. This it go past what in take place now do Martin Luther King in time or Malcolm X in time. Black Panthers they go come out outside. And right now, all man armed. So you the KKK member, you get a shotgun. That 12 years old black bobo and gets Uzi and AK-47. The American man need for go to think of them things there. Not to like Trade where you go bully the black man, you go bully and say, you go bully and you know, when I go lock them up, when I go mash them up. But if the world ready for change, especially the blacks them, it go be problem inside America. Now this let me concern because now this Donald Trump they try for lead to, you know, and I don't see clearer. You know, forget the war outside. What the internal conflicts on take place done, then you go see North Korea and China go to the finishing. So if America wise enough, and I hope say then they listen, because not you know the way we all do when they notice, even right now, anything I post, Google, it is safe under Google. Anything I chat on my phone, it don't inside Google. Before you register your phone come on. You go for register under Google. That means the American man able to track you. Me when see so unable lost right now. Because in the south I got to go with my phone. So if they want to track me, it's easy for me to offend me. Because we all lay inside or under Google. You know, owned by the Americans still. You know? So we're not going to be able to lose. I make Bokuma not believe in technology. Bokuma want a criminal, and then they use any cell phone, anything with that technology. And I want yourself now use. And just to do things the old-fashioned way. Because I don't want to be traced. You know? But some of them talk there, we need for the talker. You know? Men don't know, deprive or push the blacks them. And then they wonder why make the blacks all so violent. You know, so focused on drugs. Because when you not give people the opportunity, you don't marginalize them. You don't put in a certain area. And the areas they outside in the schools and all day, even the law enforcement, snowball crew, hospitals and all day, grocery shops and all day, not in all day. You're going to start in tongues in South America. Most of the basic things we go back to the complaints we will not get in Africa, yeah. Then back not get some. Hits and all day, not in all day. Man in the brook close like how they brook close in a salon. Ain't go back outside. Why means the man in the suffer, man in really they suffer. You know things say the crime rates could go higher in the area than they. Give people an opportunity and chance, but see if things not go change. You know? So while them boys they are the fight for survive, because it don't become a third world war to them, you know, then call Memphis Africa, something like that. Memphis Africa. You know? Because so many black. Well, let me try to round this up real quick. Pardon me, my apologies. You know, we need for purchase data again. But let me just try to round this up. You know, as Africans, I believe so enough know now what we don't need to discuss. In most of the areas, outside the KKK members, they're really active. White supremacists, they're very active. The poverty where they take place in the slums, them, the black areas, them, the ghetto, the hoods, them, etc., etc. You know, and the same thing, they're in neighboring countries, them, or the neighboring countries, them, inside Mexico, etc., etc. Same thing they experience. So the internal conflict, I mean, a major concern, you know, not too much of China, North Korea, Russia, Iran, and the rest, you know. So as an African, this is not just a wake-up call to begin to package yourself. Begin to plan yourself. You know, you never know for tomorrow. You know, begin to plan yourself. You know, when they say move all your things in Canada, but just plan for the future. Now that's Charles Muslims they try to say. You know, because now we don't understand, we don't see things clearer, we don't see what Obama do, then use it as a tool, you know what Donald Trump capable for do, him back, you know, enforce and do what he need for do. You know, Biden, and they take a chill pill, you know, and they try to be a socialist, but another racist as well, you know. All them white supremacy individuals, they're all racist to me, you know. Biden, no one of them. But Democrats just know how to play their own part. The Republicans, then they color too much. But Democrats, they know how to play their own parts, you know. But now the same people, and most of the people now where they control America, now people there we own Wall Street, you know, Wall Street, you know, and the one in this way own America. And I go tell you now, say the Jewish people there, they're part of this. I make Israel not go ever stop for go to war. The Jewish people there, now I make history repeat itself again. What's happened at Germany, you know, where then people then become conquered, you know. And no wonder that history repeat itself. So then back they amplify themselves to military might. They create nuclear weapons them. So anybody want to temper with the Jewish people there, now war. And that war day, America involved because now part of the American system. Now part of the American system. You know. So that's how we go conclude on today. You know, when I stay blessed on the boy again Charles Muslims the Savant, aka Bepeko, we're gonna link up later.